Hey there! Today's video is going to be about my favorite books of 2024. But first, I'm going to give you some statistics of my reading year. So this year I read 78 books, which came to a total of 28,699 pages. The shortest book I read was Finding Perfect by Colleen Hoover at 128 pages. My longest book was House of Flame and Shadow at 835 pages. My average book length was 367 pages. My most shelved book was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. My least shelved book was The Summer of '98. And my average rating was a 3.6. I want to preface this by saying that these books are in no particular order. I don't have a rating from 1 to 10. I was originally going to try to do like my 24 favorites of 2024. But I realized I couldn't. So I couldn't pick out 24 books I was like, oh my god, I loved. But I had to pick out at least 10. The first two I'm going to talk about are The Graham Effect and the Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. So these are, I like to say, a spinoff of a spinoff of a spinoff. So these are a spinoff of her off-campus series where it follows children. This one follows children from the original series. This follows her best friend. But they're hockey romances. So I read this one first, obviously it's the first one. And this is about Gigi and Ryder. And they're both hockey players. She is the daughter of Garrett Graham. And they're competitive. They're button heads. She wants to qualify for the Women's Olympics. Ryder is the new Briar co-captain because they merged two schools together. And then they end up boning. And things ensue. They end up fake dating is what it is. But they do end up boning multiple times. But I love this. I love her books. And then this one is about Diana and Shane. And it's enemies to lovers. So, Shane moves into Diana's building and is her next door neighbor. And what happened, it's set in the summertime. And what happens is she ends up needing his help with this dance competition she entered because her partner that she was originally entering with ends up with a job offer he can't refuse. So, things ensue from there. And it's hilarious. I was cracking up at this. I didn't tab this like I wanted to because I read it on KU and I just got it for Christmas physically, but I was cracking up at this. So those are the first two. The next book I have to talk about is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. So this is a collection with like all 7 books in it. So I took it upon myself to read all 7 books in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Narnia series. And the only one I thoroughly enjoyed was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Narnia is my childhood. I grew up watching it with my mom. So, loved it. If you don't know what it's about, do you not know what it's about? It's Narnia. It's famous. Just the world and the I can't say their name right. You know what I'm talking about. The kids. I love Lucy. I love Edmund, even though he's a little prick. Susan and Peter. His name Peter? I think his name's Peter. I think that's right. That sounds right. But love, love, love. Next up, we have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. So this is a Grinch retelling about Story Taylor and then Cole. Get it? Haha, they named him Cole. So it's a Grumpy Sunshine. They're entering like the Kringle and Kringle Town. Kind of like the Cheermeister and the Grinch. And Cole has beef with Story. Story's trying to figure out why the hell Cole has beef with Story. And Cole enlists his friend Max to help him with this competition. He enters it to spite Story. This book was hilarious. I was laughing. Like, genuinely laughing at it. I read it on KU. I just bought this edition for myself for Christmas. So, but I was genuinely cackling at it. Because it was so good. But, enemies to lovers. But some fun stuff ensues in this, and this is like a perfect Christmas love story. Next I have This Is Where It Ends by, I'm not going to try to pronounce her name. I think it's Marieke Nijunkamp. I probably butchered that. But this book had my stomach curdled. It's about a school shooting. And it's over like the course of a day. It has like flashbacks and stuff. But it's over the course of a day, and it's a school shooting. When I tell you this book had me crying, it had me upset. Like, this is reality in our world, in today's world. So, I highly, highly recommend, if you're in high school, read this. It's impactful. I feel like it's something that should be taught in classrooms to get the conversation started about school shootings and how impactful they are on today's youth. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't demonetize me for talking about that, but that is what this book is. It's impactful. It makes you feel something, and that's what happened. I haven't had a book make me feel something in so long that this one did it. Next is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. So this is duology, and I'm pretty sure, I know I've talked about this in the past, but I'm pretty sure I like Six of Crows more than Crooked Kingdom. My brain can't brain. Basically, there's a heist, there's a group of people, there's Kaz Brekker, there's Wylan, there's Jasper. I freaking love Jasper. But there's a heist, and these people are trying to, like, do it. But it was just so good. It was so funny. Jasper has my heart. But I love this book for that reason. But I loved it. So do highly recommend if you haven't read this one yet. I know I've talked about this one before, but Tom Felton's memoir, Beyond the Wand. I read this in like a sitting. It was so good, so impactful. Hearing about his story, hearing about him being on the set of Harry Potter along with other films, seeing photos of his childhood, him talking about his addiction, all of it was so good, and you could tell that he felt every single word when writing this. Him and Emma Watson. I love Emma Watson. But I love this. Like, there's no real summary. It's just Tom's life. Before Harry Potter, during Harry Potter, after Harry Potter. I love Tom Felton. Next, I have a few. My last three are Kindle reads. So I have Broken Hearts by Rebecca Jinchak. This one is a story about Rhett Rathross. Probably not saying that right. And Sienna. Sienna is a not hockey player. She's a figure skater. And Rhett is the hockey player. And one day he like bashes into her at hockey practice because the teams are sharing the ice at the college. And so it just builds from there. He feels bad. He's like a sweet boy. He just came out of a relationship. Like I think it's a 6-year-long relationship. And Sienna has an extremely bad heart condition. And like they have moderate. I found this on TikTok, the series on TikTok, purely because of him saying the description was, you know, she has a heart condition. He puts her monitor on his phone. All this because she got extremely hurt at a competition because of her heart. But it's their love story, how it ensues. I absolutely loved it, adored it, has my heart. In the same vein is Wild Love by Rebecca Jinchak. So this one is the last book in the series. And it's about Johnny Maverick and Dakota. And when I tell you I love Johnny Maverick, he's the, like, comic relief, if you want to call him that. When cracking a joke, making you laugh. He's trying to brighten the mood. He always has his shirt off. He has a dog. The dog's cute. But him and Coda were across the hall neighbors at college. Well, he wasn't really. But he would always be down in his friend's, like, apartment. And then he ends up signing with a hockey team in Minnesota. And she needs a internship. So he gets her a paid internship. So she moves with him, and they end up moving in together. They were apart, but he was paying for all her stuff. She didn't know. But more apart, moved in together, and from there it just, their story unfolds. I call it friends to lovers because it's not really enemies, it's friends to lovers. But it was so good, so cute, absolutely loved it. I love Johnny, I love Dakota. And lastly is Stone Hearts by Amber Kelly. So this is an adult romance. It's in a series. First book's called Rustic Hearts. But Stone Hearts was my favorite. It's about Dallas and Meyer. So Dallas is a single mom. She was friends with the main character from the first book when they were children, whatever. But it follows her and Meyer. And Meyer always has had like a crush on Dallas since they were young. Dallas is her brother's best friend. Their farms, orchards are right up against each other, so they're always helping on each other's farms, orchards. I think one's a farm, one's an orchard. But he loves her son, Bo. Bo was the highlight of this whole book. I loved Bo. Trying to think. But it follows, like, their love story of Dallas being like, no, like, I can't date him, da-da-da. And Meyer's like, I like you. Let me be in your life. And he teaches Bo how to, like, call him if there's ever an emergency. Like, it's just so wholesome. I'm a sucker for kids and moms and, like, single moms that, like, find their love with another guy. That's what my mommy did with my dad. And now I have a great dad. I changed my last name because of him. So those types of stories have my heart. So I think that's why I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I enjoyed the whole series, but this one was my absolute favorite. I can't recommend it enough. If you read it, let me know what your favorite was or if you've read it. But yeah, I thank you for watching. You are loved, you are cherished, you are appreciated, and I hope to see you next time.